Friday, America. I'm telling you, America.
Amen to that.
We ought to just do about 15 minutes worth of stuff today and then, dip out. Rob, can you just play the same 15-minute clips over and over for the whole show today if we leave? We'll give you one good 15-minute clip.
I can figure it out, I guess.
That'd be good.
Do it.
Get to figuring.
Rob figures even if it took him a couple hours, he'd still get out of here early.
Yeah.
So why not?
All right, let's do it.
Do it.
Alexis isn't here today. I don't know where she just needed the day off or something. I didn't find out what it was. I figured it was some female issues or something.
No, I don't know.
I always worry about
Do you know what it is, Riggins?
I don't, but I mean, I know that Dreamville is happening. That's like the big.
is that J. Cole's festival is happening this weekend?
Yeah.
You
So
think that's where she's going?
I don't know, but I know she had mentioned it a few months ago that they were going to head out there for that with the food truck, I think. But I don't know that for certain at all. I'm just guessing. But I would love to go to that.
You would?
Love J. Cole, yeah.
I didn't think you liked him.
Yeah, I do.
Well, you say he's not as handsome as what some people think he is, right?
Say that. Well, I mean, that is true. I mean,
because I said something about people think he's really handsome, and you said, I don't know if I'd say that.
Yeah, I don't know that I would say that.
I mean, he's no Big Sean. I'm gonna tell you that.
No.
Big Sean's a good-looking fella.
Yeah, no.
But J. Cole, he looks. Is he kind of really skinny and stuff?
He's slim.
Like
he's slim and tall.
Yeah. Look like he smokes a lot of dope.
I don't. What
Is
does
he
that look like?
that kind of skinny?
No.
They have dreads.
Yeah.
Oh well, then he smokes dope.
J. Cole holds a very special place in my heart.
Does he?
Yeah, Peyton loved
your daughter
J. Cole. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. For real. You the only father that I ever knew. I get up pregnant, I'm going to be a better you. Nailed it.
Yeah, he's good.
Don't save her.
Thank you, Rob.
That's a good song.
I don't know any of Mr. Cole's musical stylings.
That's the only one that I know, but they were pretty good. I remember Peyton playing. I was like, okay, that's good.
If you want to get into J. Cole, his first song on like one of his early mixtapes is called Lights.
Yeah.
Lights, Please, I think is what it was called. Real good.
My daughter is just because she's one that likes all types of music from all genres and decades and all of that. But now she is just completely stuck on that Morgan Wallen fella.
Yeah.
But that album is huge.
Yeah, it's
really good, too.
She said, I even try to listen to, as much as I love Drake, I tried listening to Drake the other day. Just went right back to Morgan Wallen.
I haven't listened to all of that new Luke Combs album, but the Morgan Wallen album, what I've heard, is better than the Luke Combs album.
Yeah, but people say the Luke Combs album's not that great.
Yeah,
even Rob said that.
Yeah, the cover of Fast Car by Tracy Chapman makes it worthwhile to me because I've been.
Like Luke Combs?
Luke Combs did a cover of Fast Car that's very good. Very good.
Really good.
Yeah. That's one of my all-time favorite songs.
I know. But you'd like it. It's really good. It sticks true to the original. It's really good.
They look a lot alike.
Luke Combs and Tracy Chapman?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
If you've never seen Tracy Chapman, do a Google image search of her.
And just think you're ready to laugh because that's a funny comparison. Let's see what's trending.
Now trending on the Ace and TJ Show.
And so a lot of big stories today. We'll get to just a few. First of all, Final Four games happen tomorrow. And, tonight is women's Final Four.
Tonight.
And it's going to be fun basketball to watch tonight and tomorrow.
My alma mater, LSU, plays at 7.
Yeah.
There are 2 SEC teams. The other one happens to be the best team in America, South Carolina, who plays at 9 o'clock tonight.
They play.
They're 40.
Iowa.
I think they're 44. They've won their last 44 games in a row, the defending national champs.
Yeah, the LSU Virginia, is that right? Is that who they're playing?
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. LSU Virginia Tech is predicted to be a score of 11-9 at the end.
Low score.
These women's basketball scores are a lot lower.
And honestly, as much as I love LSU, South Carolina's going to be.
You think?
They look dominant over everybody that they play. So it'll be interesting to see.
They may score 17.
Yeah. So that's tonight, and then the men's Final Four gets underway tomorrow.
Yeah. The indictment of Donald Trump is the top trending topic at the moment. First time in history a former president has been indicted based on an alleged hush money payment to a woman named Stormy Daniels who claims she had an affair with the president while he was married. And they've, they said it's a campaign finance violation, but I've heard that it's going to be difficult to prove that he used that hush money payment as a way to get into the White House rather than just saving his marriage.
Well, they call it hush money. It's actually a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. And the media always calls it hush money because they're a bunch of Marxists, making it sound more sinister than it was. And every company that those media people are sitting there reporting from has done slews of non-disclosure agreements and do them every day.
Yeah.
But this is a serious turn for our country. A huge turn right into the face of tyranny. This is a dangerous, despicable thing. And I would say it, even if it weren't a politician that I'm a fan of. If it was some politician that I didn't even like, I would say it. This is bad.
Here are a couple of details. CNN claims the indictment was sealed, but CNN claims he's facing 34 separate charges involving, they called it hush money, that was paid to Stormy Daniels during the 2016 presidential campaign. Trump's lawyer allegedly paid Stormy Daniels $130,000 2 weeks before the election. After Trump won, he reimbursed his lawyer, but allegedly listed that payment as reimbursement for legal fees, which it wasn't. And it's campaign finance fund laws is where they start with this whole thing. But it's really, they say this is a hard one to prove.
Yeah, and they have the evidence in this is so razor thin, if even visible at all. But the DA in New York is you'll hear if you pay attention to some of this stuff, but not as closely as I do, or people who are really news junkies and stuff. You'll hear him refer to him as a George Soros DA. There's an evil man, in my opinion, named George Soros, who his goal is to tear down the American system. He's a multi-billionaire, and he just donates to all these campaigns and puts these candidates forward in elections who he knows are not going to enforce American law, and they're going to carry the water for his political views, which are, in my opinion, Marxist. So this guy was backed by George Soros, the DA was, and he's a full-on, just despicable cockroach of a person. And all they want to do is get Trump in, indict him, get a mugshot of him. They don't care how it plays out, that he's not going to be found guilty or that they have no evidence, really. They just want that aspect of it because he's their biggest threat to losing the presidency right now. And they are just complete. It's a full political witch hunt, as Donald Trump called it. That's all it is. And it's scary for the freest nation in the history of the world to be dealing with these Soviet-type tactics that these people are doing right now. It's crazy.
So we will keep an eyeball on that. And then one of my favorite stories throughout this week is this trial involving Gwyneth Paltrow. I was talking about it the other day during Now Trending. It's just fascinating to watch a celebrity in a courtroom for some reason. But yesterday she won. The guy that was suing her claimed that she ran into him on a ski slope, and he suffered long-lasting injuries. And then when she took the stand, she said, no, I didn't crash into him. He crashed into me. And on top of that, I at first thought it was a sexual assault because he came and hit me in the back and started groaning and grunting behind me. And I mean, it was a wild story. But yesterday, the jury found that he was totally at fault. Ace, do you have audio of the verdict?
Yeah, listen to them reading this. The jury verdict is so one-sided, it's not even close.
Has the jury reached a verdict?
Was Gwyneth Paltrow at fault? No. Was Terry Sanderson at fault? Yes. Did Terry Sanderson's fault cause Gwyneth Paltrow's harm? Yes. What percent of the fault do you assign to Terry Sanderson? 100%. Damages. What amount fairly compensates Gwyneth Paltrow for economic damages? $1.
And that's all she was asking for.
Yeah, she countersued him. And what was interesting is after the verdict was read and she's on her way out, she walks up behind him and puts her hand on his shoulder and she whispers in his ear, "I wish you well." And he said, "Thank you." But it was just a wild scene. But Gwyneth Paltrow, one of those like nuts and avocados, healthy living, I drink hot water with lemon every day kind of women. And she's a beautiful woman.
And we talked about this early. We talked about this early on. His story and her story were diametrically opposed, 180 degrees from each other. And they said it would come down, the verdict was either going to believe him totally or her totally. And everybody in that said his story had no credibility whatsoever.
Yeah.
He had nothing going for him.
No, it was wild. So it was one of my favorite stories throughout the week for sure. But those are just a few things that are now trending.
Are you about to meet the world's greatest infidelity mastermind? Or are you about to meet a guy who just got caught up in a bad situation that was an accident and his wife nearly divorced him over it? Next.
Live from the Calitrin Studios. Find out more about Calitrin at acetj.com/weight loss. More of the Ace and TJ Show next.
You got a chance to still change somebody's life. acetj.com/vote. Voting stays open until Sunday for the first quarter of the rest of your life. The 4 finalists you've met at this time all throughout the week. The radio family, whoever they vote for the most to win $10,000, that will be 1 vote for that person, along with the members of the Ace and TJ Board of Directors. I'm sorry, the Peyton's Promise Board of Directors. Peyton's Promise is our charity deciding who will win the $10,000. We'll make that announcement at this time Monday on the Ace and TJ Show as to who the winner is of $10,000 to change their life from our charity, Peyton's Promise. So there's this guy who's gone viral after his wife found another woman's checkbook in her car. And he swore, "I have no idea how this got into my car." So this is kind of a twofold because we have the outcome. Here's the original setup from this viral video from the husband whose wife thinks he's having an affair.
If your name's Jessica and you live in northern Colorado, I need you to check your voicemail right away because I have your checkbook. My wife thinks we're having an affair. She goes into the center console and guess what she finds? A checkbook. Not mine and not hers. It's yours, Jessica. I have You work in the same town I teach in, which is not the same town I live in. Do you see how bad this is looking for me? I need you to just check your voicemail so we can figure out where we somehow crossed paths, or not even we, you and my car, so that I can clear all of this up.
So you could see his dilemma. Wife looks in the console, her checkbooks, and he says, "I have no idea." And turns out she lives in the town where he works as a teacher, which is not where he lives. So he drives to this town, which will be and I can see his wife thinking, "Well, you're having an affair. This woman's been in the car with you."
Yeah, I don't even believe. I think the whole thing is a sketch comedy, like a skit.
Well,
I think the whole thing's made up because don't nobody carry checkbooks anymore.
Yeah.
He lying. It's some old cornball teacher trying to come up with something, get some attention and acting like it's funny.
well, the mystery was solved, or was it? Here's what happened.
It's Jessica. I live in northern Colorado. I never answer my phone.
Hey, we found Jessica. After texting back and forth all morning, the best we can come up with is that our kids go to school together. She maybe parks where I park because I teach next door. It's the best we got. So this afternoon, I'm going to meet up with Jessica, take the whole family over. She has goats, and so we're going to play with them. She's getting her checkbook back. And while half of the 15,000 comments and growing on this post are convinced that I am like the world's greatest infidelity mastermind, sorry to disappoint you guys.
Well, that didn't explain anything.
That did not explain how her checkbook got into his car.
Yeah.
They lying.
Yeah, that's fake.
You think it's all a scam, TJ?
Yeah. He's probably doing it as a class experiment, with his little high students from Colorado. They
that
all
was-
probably in there smoking weed during the day.
But that was my thought when he said, "Oh, best we can figure out we park close to each other." Well, then that doesn't explain how the checkbook got into his car.
And that's the only thing in his car. and that it's 2023.
Yeah, right.
People be scamming. I say it all the time.
Even people that write checks sometimes don't carry a checkbook with them anymore.
I don't know where my checkbook is, to be honest.
I have 2 checkbooks in my briefcase right now.
But when you get into your car and you're not going to work or to and fro work, do you take the checkbooks out and keep them with you all the time?
No, I have to go get them if I need. I take it back. I have 3 checkbooks in my briefcase, in my bag right now. But I keep them in there. That's where they stay all the time.
Yeah.
They're in there in case I need them with me, in case there's an emergency and I need them for some reason.
Right, like my gun. My gun stays in my bag for that same reason.
Exactly.
When's the last time you wrote a check?
I had to write a check for the company about 2 weeks ago.
Ace writes a lot of checks. He's a
I really
check
don't.
guy.
I have,
No,
but
you don't.
but I have to write. My alimony has to be done in a check every month, and then which is super annoying. And then I had to write a check for the company. I had to go someplace and write a check about 2 weeks ago, and that's really the only checks that I write. Very rarely do I have to write one.
I don't think I've written a check since the first George Bush, the dad's administration, before Clinton.
To be fair, you also didn't cash checks then either, right?
Oh, you mean my paychecks and stuff? No,
He just left those in his
But I mean,
pants
it's just
pocket.
basically since I've been married, I don't think I've written a check. I sign a lot of checks.
Yeah, but Jody
she'll
handles
lay
it,
them
yeah.
out there. I need you to sign these checks. I need you to sign these checks. And I just figured out that she always has to have me do it right then.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, okay, I'll do it in a minute. I need you to do that. Sign these checks. And the reason why is this is how far withdrawn I am. I said, well, when are you going to the bank? I'm not going to the bank. I do it online. So I was like, okay, well, now I know why you're in the middle of doing it and you need me to sign the check.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I should be carrying a checkbook in my back pocket. I'm behind the scenes, behind the times so much.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
So earlier this week, I just shared with y'all a little tidbit that I found out about some friends of ours who have a friend who has a very interesting budget item every single month. It's rather surprising that he budgets for this thing every single month. But he may not have the most unusual item to be budgeted for every month. Next.
Ace and TJ. More show than you can get on the radio. This is Ace TJ 5G.
So it's spring, and you're going to be in your swimsuits. Men, you're going to be, wanting to work out in the yard with your shirt off. You know how you get out there and get all hot and sweaty and sexy. If you want to lose some weight, feel more confident this summer, go ahead and order Calitrin right now and start Calitrin. Get it going. Now, we tell you every day that Calitrin is not full of caffeine and harsh herbs and things like that it's going to speed up your metabolism and make your heart jump out of your throat and all that. The way it works is it is all natural collagen protein products. That's what they've got. Now, the collagen protein builds healthy, lean muscle. We need that in our system. We always need the collagen proteins in our system. When you got lean muscle burns fat and sugar more effectively than having your heart race nonstop because you're taking some kind of a harsh drug. So you can buy 3 months supply right now and get 2 months free of Calitrin. 3 months, get 2 free, and then $21 off. It's great. Just go to acetj.com/weight loss and order Calitrin today.
I have a collection of things that I just find interesting that you might also find interesting. So I like to call this, I came up with a catchy name, Things You Might Find Interesting. Okay? For example, Elon Musk is now the most followed person on Twitter with 133.088 million followers, just edging out number 2, Barack Obama. However, Elon Musk has lost his number 1 fan. His number 1 fan, the anonymous Cat Turd. You know who Cat Turd is on Twitter, Riggins? Sure. Yeah, Cat Turd has turned on him. He's an anonymous Florida man whose account is a photo of a cat wearing glasses, and he has 1.6 million followers. He's known for posting a lot of MAGA stuff also. Apparently, he's upset with some of the changes to Twitter, like too many ads, paying for his verified status account, and getting temporarily banned. So Elon Musk made jokes about him, and he quit following. So Cat Turd no longer follows Elon Musk. A couple of interesting things on this day in history. 153 years ago today, 1870, the first black man to vote after the 15th Amendment was ratified happened today. His name was Thomas Peterson Mundy. And Brandon Lee died on the set of The Crow on this day in 1993. and Selena was killed on this day in 1995. Yolanda Saldivar
Yep.
was the lady that the head of her actually
club,
founded her fan club, right?
Yeah. Tejano singer Selena.
And in a new poll, half of America says they dig sentiment decor. That's the signs that say like "Live, Laugh, Love," or I can't think of any other words. We don't have any of this stuff in our, but I think it says "family" on the wall in a big letter. Home.
Bless this house.
Bless this house is a big one.
The sign over the toilet that says "We aim to please, you aim to please."
Yeah.
Is that one?
That's cute.
But here's what I found most interesting about this. It's not a boomer thing. It's most popular with young adults and the home improvement shows that young adults watch. 61% of Gen Z and 58% of millennials love the sentiment decor word signs. Boomers, only 32% of boomers seem to like it.
Yeah, so that's old people then, right?
Yeah, old people don't.
They never put our
dig
generation
it.
in these things.
Yeah, Gen X didn't show up in this poll at all. It's Gen Z and millennials love it. Boomers don't like it.
The forgotten generation.
And tomorrow's the first day of April. A few things to look forward to. Obviously, it's a big weekend for sports. If you're a basketball fan, the Masters is this month. The Michael Jordan movie Air. Michael Jordan's not in the movie, but it's about Michael Jordan. Easter is a week from Sunday. Plus, hey, Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies is on Paramount Plus this month. So, lots to look forward to.
Ace TJ 5G.
So, last weekend, I told y'all that my wife and I had gone to Bryson City, North Carolina to spend some time with Amanda's college friend, Courtney, her husband, Connor. And in the conversation over the weekend while we were hanging out, they were talking about a guy that somehow they know, I don't know the details, but he has a line item in his budget, he told them, for OnlyFans. So, I don't know who this person is, but he has a monthly budget for OnlyFans, and he said he moves his, I don't know if it would be a membership or how he follows this money. I don't exactly know if OnlyFans is the membership or what. Anyway, he follows different people every few months. Like he moves his money around, so to speak. But I don't know the amount, but say he has $100 budgeted a month for OnlyFans, and however many people he can follow for his $100 is what he's got that in his budget every month, which seems a little odd to me.
And he uses it for the amateur pornography of OnlyFans, or people who don't do that on OnlyFans?
No, I think it's he uses it to look at hot women, the amateur pornography of OnlyFans.
Okay.
So he's like, I got $100 every month to spend, hypothetically. And so if this one is 20, he could have, follow 5 people at $20 a month, or 10 people at $10 a month, whatever. Just seems, I don't know. It's on one hand, it's financially responsible in the fact that he's like, well, this is something I'm going to do, so I might as well budget for it and allot this particular amount of money so I know I don't overspend. On the other hand, it does seem odd that if you were to look at your monthly budget and go, okay, OnlyFans, electricity, car note, I spend this much on restaurants, OnlyFans, gas bill, whatever, it just seems kind of odd.
And his wife's cool with it?
Not married.
Oh, okay. He's not
single
married.
guy.
I thought y'all went with another couple to the mount. Oh,
Yeah,
it's a
this was
friend
their
of the
friend.
couple.
Yeah,
Okay.
this was a guy.
I got it.
I think it was a guy.
Oh, well then.
It's a guy that Connor, the guy that works with.
I'm sorry. I forgot that part of it. But yeah, well then, he's single. He's not answering to anybody.
So
he could be a perv out in the open all he wants.
it just seems a little odd. So what else is there that you can say, I can't believe he spends money on blank? Like, it's a regular expenditure, monthly, and that could be like once a year he spends, $1,000 on this, whatever it might be. We also like to know the amount. Because it could be that it's not as big a deal as you think, depending on the amount that he's spending. But at the Ace TJ show, it could be your significant other, your brother, a guy that you know, somebody you work with, but you know that he spends money regularly on something that is a little surprising, maybe even shocking.
Like different kinds of animal urine for hunting. Like, that's my duck urine, deer urine, quail urine.
You're wrong, but you have the right idea, Ricketts. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how many different kinds of urine there are.
Well,
but
skunk and deer.
Yeah, he's
hog,
like,
I think you can buy
$20 a month for different urine.
Yeah, that's another one of those though that sounds weird.
Yeah, but
it makes total sense if you know what he's doing. You're like, oh, I totally get what he's doing there.
I wonder how many women have OnlyFans subscriptions that they have to budget for.
Yeah.
I think that number's low.
I bet it is too. But
Coming up Monday on the Ace and TJ show.
Yeah.
you never hear of it.
So, at the Ace TJ show, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I can't believe he spends money regularly on blank. And if you know the amount, we'd love to know if that weighs into it at all. The urine one's a great example. OnlyFans, another great example. What is it that you've got? Again, it could be any guy that you know. Doesn't have to be your significant other, but that would be even better if it was. DM us if you want to be anonymous. We'll see what you got. And this is going to get weird. Coming up next.
You're listening to the Ace and TJ Show. Just you and us. This is Ace TJ 5G.
Hey, if you're looking for a great place to hang this weekend, whether you're looking for a dinner, place to have a drink, great place to meet up with a bunch of people, it's the H2 Public House in Cornelius. Lake Norman's locally owned restaurant and bar. Owner Josh McCracken and general manager Mike Regan have created a very family-friendly atmosphere, a very friendly local atmosphere, chef-driven food, dine-in, takeout, delivery. This is where we did our live show a couple of weeks ago, and it's a very, very cool place. They're open 7 days a week, lunch, dinner, drinks, catering trays, brunch on the weekend. All kinds of different stuff is happening constantly at H2 Public House. Find out more. Go to their website, h2publichouse.com. That's the letter H, the number 2, publichouse.com. H2 Public House. You'll love it. In Cornelius, in the Jeton Village shops. You can't miss it. It's awesome.
So a few weeks ago, we were talking about, I think Ace found a story about scientists discovering how fast a certain dinosaur could run. And TJ said, well, how do they know that? How do scientists know that, how fast they could run?
Yeah.
Based on the bones. And I thought, well, I'm sure they have like ways of finding that out. But it turns out, I think TJ might be right because they just found out the T-Rex had big lips that it covered its teeth. Big, fat, plump, juicy lips over the teeth. So the T-Rex that you see in Jurassic Park, it was real fierce and had those big teeth and it was, snarling, mean looking. Didn't look at all like that. Had big lips over the teeth.
And the thing about it is, I saw this story today, and I don't think they know that it had big lips either.
Maybe not.
I mean, I don't believe any of it. They have no way of knowing what it looked like.
But you just put your faith in the scientific community that they're not going to lead you astray.
I did until Fauci.
Huh?
I'd put my faith in them until Fauci.
Because that's exactly the same thing.
Can't believe these scientists.
Yeah, it's unfair. You can't. I mean, at least the people that are talking about dinosaurs. I mean, we have the bones. That's what we know. Like we can put the bones together and see, how big it was. But I guess lips are harder to because it's the flesh. But I think that somebody needs to show me what that looks like because I got a feeling it's not nearly as terrifying with big old lips.
Yeah, I mean, it probably looks like Angelina Jolie, a lizard like Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, it sounds gorgeous.
Or it makes like a lizard with Lisa Rinna lips.
Yeah. The team examined the tooth structure, wear patterns, and jaw shapes of lipped and lipless reptile groups during their period and found that, that the mighty fierce T-Rex probably had some big old juicy smackers.
And now we don't know how fast they ran because of that piece of information.
Well, what is true now?
What is true?
How
is
do they know?
that,
Is this any different than running?
They can't tell all those details about these things. They just can't.
I don't know.
Ace TJ 5G.
Okay. You're a little shocked, surprised at what he spends money on every single month, or at least regularly. The example was the guy that we've found out about that has OnlyFans as a line item in his budget every month. Why do you make that face, Rick?
I just think it's odd.
It is odd. That's what started the whole conversation. So what is it? From Twitter, she says, my brother has a weed budget. He says he will never stop smoking, and as his career grows, he will allow himself to spend more every month. The good part is he doesn't smoke as much as he'd like to because he doesn't want to run out.
Oh, wow.
So he must figure out, I make this much money every month. I'm going to allow myself this much money to buy weed.
And if I make more, I'll buy more weed.
Yeah, then I'll, it's a good plan. It's a certain percent of his budget, and so as he makes more, he'll buy more.
Yeah. The most successful people in the world smoke a lot of weed.
Here's the thing about that, though. The way I read this, it makes it seem like he goes and buys it all at the beginning of the month.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to make a lot of weed trips.
So like at the first of the month, here's, I have $400 a month for weed here. And then give me $400 worth. Then he takes it home and just allots it throughout the rest of the month, so he doesn't run out. Then on the first, he gets paid and goes and does it again or something. I don't know. Maybe it's every 2 weeks.
Wow.
That just not being a part of that world, I don't know anything about it. That just seems like it's really important to him.
Oh yeah. Very.
Hey Rob, do you have anything? Because some of the stuff that you're into, Rob, we find a little bit different and unusual. Do you have anything that you spend money on every month that Meredith would think, or you might think we think is a little odd or weird?
I don't have anything that I spend money on every month, but like I play digital card games from time to time. Like there's a game called Hearthstone, and Magic the Gathering has an online version, and it's not like physical stuff. I just pay money to have stuff on the game, but it's just like regular video game stuff in general, I guess.
But you can't win money.
With Magic, you could actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you spend?
Do you know Magic?
Not to get into the details. Do you spend a lot of money every month, Rob, on things like, and I don't know, on all your PS5, Xbox subscriptions and everything?
Those are like, I guess technically, yeah, because I do yearly subscriptions, but they're like $60 a year.
Okay.
So like
that's not bad. That's not expensive when you break it down over the course of 12 months.
Yeah.
Do you have anything, Riggins, as a single guy that you look at and go, that's kind of weird that I spend money on that every month?
No. I'm pretty frugal, which means tight with my money. Yeah, I wish I did have some. I don't have any disposable income at the moment.
Yeah, I don't have anything like that it's like, oh, man, I spend a lot of money on this every month or that. I
like beer. I drink beer. That's probably it.
Weirdo.
It's not weird. Yeah.
And I know TJ does it because Jody's not having that. He can't even buy some jerky at the store without her wanting to do it. What'd you spend $7 on a QT?
Yeah. How am I going to get any money to put aside?
What was the last time she said something to you that, like, you got home and she said, what were you doing at such and such a place?
I think I had gone to Target for something, and I bought a couple of shirts and something like that. And by the time I got home, she was like, what'd you buy? Another black T-shirt. Oh, you really needed that. I'm glad you got another black T-shirt.
So she knew by the time you got home, you'd spent more than she thought you should have. So she wanted to know what you bought.
She didn't even know I'd gone to Target.
Oh, she just wanted to know
like, who's gone to Target? Looking at the computer. Well, he went on a shopping spree.
He bought a black T-shirt.
A notebook and a black T-shirt.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
All right, we're wrapping up the week. We will do the Week in Review coming up next.
You're listening to the Ace and TJ Show. More show than you can get on the radio. This is Ace TJ 5G.
One click today could change somebody's life or be very influential in it. AceTJ.com/vote is where you go to vote for who should win $10,000 from our charity, Peyton's Promise. Now, we're doing the first quarter of the rest of your life, this contest. Our goal to change someone's life forever by giving them $10,000 to give them a jump start. That wouldn't even be possible if it weren't for great sponsors that we have, like Bradham Brothers. Bradham Brothers has gotten involved with Peyton's company that's been around for over 50 years. You're not around for over 50 years unless you're really good at your job. And they have fantastic reviews to boot. Top quality trained products, and they take pride in the level of service they provide their customers every step of the way. Schedule service or get a free estimate today by going to BradhamBrothers.com. And this is that time of year you want to check out their AC, make sure everything's running properly before the summer gets here. Reach out to them. BradhamBrothers.com. BradhamBrothers.com. Brothers.com.
I don't know whether this is just a story that has been put out by this particular news organization and they're really late on it, or this is another story in addition to what we talked about last week about Taco Bell bringing back classic menu items.
Yeah.
And they're going to let fans vote on which one, like the beefy crunch burrito or the cool ranch Doritos Locos Tacos. Is this a new thing of that, or we already talked about? This is the one we talked about last week.
We have talked about it, but it just started like being able to vote yesterday.
Okay.
So that's why it's coming back up.
All right.
You know that man knows.
I know, that's what I was getting.
You know he knows.
I always get the same thing at Taco Bell. You know, most of the time I'll get the cheesy gordita crunch and then just regular soft tacos as a side. But they don't have the chilito anymore, do they, Rob?
No, they don't. Well, certain locations do, but none around here that I know of.
All of them, like close to old Mexico, they're the ones that have them. Like the ones in Texas and Arizona.
The real authentic ones.
Yeah, that are right there close to the border.
No object.
And the Mexi Melt. That's not on there. They do have cheesy roll-ups.
Yeah, the Mexi Melt is gone from all locations.
I know, but that could be one that they could bring back.
I don't even know what that is. Like a Mexican.
Yeah,
I get
it
them
was
all
like
confused.
several types of cheeses melted into a tortilla, and then it had I always said hold the pico, but it had a pico on it that people seemed to enjoy. It was good. It had a lot of cheese in it. It would back you up.
Yeah.
Like not just in the drive-thru, but in the restroom. You get backed up.
We'll back you up, not just in the drive-thru.
Just you and us. This is Ace TJ 5G.
Rob just told us a very, very helpful hint that is it tonight, Rob?
Yeah, tonight. I think it's tonight between 6 and 7. If you order DoorDash Wendy's, get a biggie bag, you can get $30 off of your order.
Like, what?
That's a lot of
And
Wendy's.
he just threw that in like, hey guys, just so you know.
Well, TJ said DoorDash, and it made me think of it because my niece sent it to me yesterday. It worked yesterday and today, but it's 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern.
So $30 off.
Yeah, as long as you get a biggie bag and use the promo
But what
code
is it?
biggie.
I don't even know what a biggie bag is or
like
what it costs.
their
By the way, we're not
value
getting paid for this. This
No.
is literally this came up as a conversation as we were coming back on the air.
It's like their value meal.
Okay.
It's usually like $5, so it's probably like 7 on DoorDash.
Oh, so one item in your more than $30 order has to be a biggie bag.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gracious.
All right. Put that in your song, Regan.
I mean,
Yeah, rework real quick, man.
that is important. I mean, that's incredible.
I was sitting here thinking, when have I ever spent $30 at Wendy's?
You get 2 Baconators for that.
One combo costs $30. All right.
It's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, I guess. All right, so it's a special time. Each week we come together to have the week that was pop culture, the week that was the Ace and TJ show reviewed for us in song, thanks to Riggins and the week in review.
And this is my song, it's called The Week in Review. It's a week's worth of shows summarized for you. No special effects and no auto-tune. Just me and my guitar performing for you. John Wick 4 is doing well in theaters. It's nearly a 3-hour flick, which gives you just enough time to do the old hole in the popcorn trick. Shazam 2 is also in theaters. Excitement it does not bring. Critics say it's unfocused and unsatisfying. It's like they got my exes to review this thing. Come on.
Unfocused and unsatisfied.
That's right. Both of them. Even Rob said it was underwhelming, and it left him kind of sour. This is the guy who saw Spider-Man and cried 4 times in an hour.
This is my song. It's called The Week in Review. It's a week's worth of shows summarized for you. No special effects, no auto-tune. Just me and my guitar performing for you.
Alexis's boyfriend tucked his napkin into his shirt. She said that's only for old men, but wait till he pulls out an iron. She's really going to lose it then. Well, what we've learned is that Alexis is just rude. This isn't meant to be accusatory, but if you slip and fall in front of her, she's just going to post you on her Instagram story. And
This is my song, it's called The Week in Review. It's a week's worth of shows summarized for you. No special effects and no auto-tune. Just me and my guitar performing for you.
Popeyes introduced their new strawberry biscuits, a new part of the Popeyes feast. When I was in college, strawberry biscuits was something different, to say the least. Don't look it up. The Texas Rangers introduced a 2-foot chili cheeseburger. I don't know what is wrong with them. Nothing like enjoying a Rangers day game and pooping your pants at 2 p.m. I did a Facebook Live on Tuesday. I didn't know how it would go. People said I should do it more often, and I replied respectfully, no. And
This is my song, it's called The Week in Review. It's a week's worth of shows summarized for you. No special effects and no auto-tune. Just me and my guitar performing for you.
Clowncore is a new aesthetic. It's a new style you can embrace. I was trying to explain this to my father, and I thought he was going to punch me in the face. You know, my dad is pretty old school. He only knows one gay person, to be fair. And I don't even think that guy is gay. He just uses gel to style his hair. He's gay.
Your dad thinks he's gay.
He thinks he's gay. But tomorrow is April Fool's Day. Be on the lookout throughout the day. I put a booger in Ace's water bottle. I'm just a prankster. What can I say?
And this is my song, it's called The Week in Review. It's a week's worth of shows summarized for you. No special effects and no auto-tune. Just me and my guitar performing for you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Smattering.
That was a smattering.
Smattering of applause.
Smattering. So a minute ago we were talking about something about one of Ace's friends' trashy buddies.
That's true.
And it sparked a question for me that I have to present to ladies, hypothetical to the ladies. And it may end up having ladies kind of go at each other a little bit in the comments of social medias and things. So we'll see what happens coming up next.
From the Calotrin Studios, this is the Ace and TJ Show. Find out more about Calotrin at acetj.com/weight loss. Just you and us. This is Ace TJ 5G.
You want to advertise your business? You want to do it at a price you can afford with great craftsmanship in creative content done by the members of the Ace and TJ Show? Go to acetjmedia.com. acetjmedia.com.
I love this, and we have a radio friend who lives in South Florida. He posted something on his Instagram yesterday that I found interesting. So it was from a Miami Marlins game. The Miami Marlins are now serving a 34-inch Cuban sandwich called the Cubano Gigante. It costs $54. $54 for one sandwich. And our friend Kevin said the promo photo makes it look amazing. But he posted the promo photo, and then yesterday was opening day. So he has a friend that went to the game and got the Cubano Gigante and sent him a picture of it. And his point was, this looks nothing like the promo photo.
Yeah.
It's not even in the same, well, ballpark. Yeah, no pun intended. It's not even close to the promo photo that looks phenomenal. And this looks like they just slapped some stuff on a huge sandwich and just pushed the bun all the way down and wrapped it up real tight and threw it at you. It looks terrible.
Yeah, there's no way that's going to look appetizing at a ball game.
But again, the promo photo is pretty impressive. It's pretty amazing. But the reality of it, are there other things like fast food items that you've gone for that disappoint? Where you look at it on TV, like, for example, I know the Whopper never looks as good as it does on TV because the lettuce is always light and fluffy, and the tomatoes seem to be fluffy. When you see them on TV, it kind of sits up high. I know when I order a Whopper, it's not going to look like that. The bread seems to be flattened out some and all that. I don't care because I know the Whopper's always going to be delicious.
Yeah.
So I'm not that disappointed in it. But I do know it's not going to look like it does on TV. Like the promo versus reality is such a stark difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not even food in the picture. It's, artwork they've made.
I think McDonald's fries are really different when you see them on TV. You see them in the still delicious, but when you see them on that, they look light and they fall.
Yeah.
They put them into the little cardboard thing.
Yeah.
They just kind of slide in there.
Yeah.
And then you get them and they seem to be much more flat and kind of all clumped together a little bit. But again, don't care. McDonald's fries are still the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't freak out. Doesn't mean the food's not good. It's just, I can't think of anything that looks as good in the promo as in reality as it does in the promo.
Ace TJ 5G.
So, Ace was talking about earlier this friend of a friend that has a budget item that is it's for OnlyFans. Every month he has a certain amount of money put aside so he can watch amateur pornography. Now, he's single, which takes away some of the oddity of it, I guess. But if he does find somebody, is he a heterosexual, Ace?
Yeah, I guess. Okay. I assume so, yes.
So if he finds a woman that he wants to marry, would she make that a requirement before we get married? You need to get rid of OnlyFans. You need to stop subscribing to OnlyFans stuff.
Chances are, yes. I mean, odds are she would. I would think. Not that she's right or wrong either way. It's her business. But I mean, it's just typically you would think a woman would want him to stop doing that when they got married.
Yeah. Some people would say that if a woman is okay with it, then that's a bad reflection, more of a bad reflection on her than it is him. Like women say about, oops, I dropped my glasses, about women who don't mind their husbands going to strip clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're comparable, I think. Going to a strip club, spending money on online.
But if a lady who did that, it would be a worse reflection on her than
I'm
him.
not saying that. I'm just saying that they're comparable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a guy going to strip clubs.
Yeah.
As opposed to a guy paying for OnlyFans subscription.
Yeah, I see no difference.
Well, except for the OnlyFans ones, there's no like physical, closeness or anything. You can't talk to her. Well, I guess you can. Yeah, don't they type messages to
you
them
chat and you can have them do specific things.
Yeah.
That sounded worse than I meant it to, but it's true.
Yeah. And like you jumped out to be the authority too quickly.
Well, maybe. But I think that's the same thing. If you're going to get mad about going to a strip club, you should probably be mad about spending money on online adult content.
Does that have a stigma? Does it have a stigma to it in your mind, Riggins? Somebody who pays subscriptions to pornography online?
Yeah, to me it does.
What does that say?
I don't know.
Like you think that if you meet a guy and he's talking about having online subscriptions to adult materials, you think he's a loser?
I don't know that he's a good dating material.
Yeah.
I don't, that openly talks about that. I mean, it's okay to have a little bit of shame in your life. I mean, and that's proof.
And
he's like telling his friends and the wife of his friend, like, I spend money on OnlyFans. That's bizarre to me.
Especially the fact that there was a conversation with his wife involved about it.
Yeah, saying that to a married woman,
Yeah.
that a friend married to your friend is odd to me.
And see, and that goes back to something I'm always saying that makes people mad is that the lack of shame that we have in the country now is harmful to society. You gotta have some shame, some dignity.
Yeah, you got to have everything.
Yeah.
Everybody's got something they're ashamed of. They don't want anybody to know about.
Yeah.
But what I don't get is you spend money on that as a single guy. Okay, whatever. But the guys who are married or who are getting married and they hang on to it like it's just something that this is a part of me and you're not going to tell me not to do this and that. Just like the guys who's, they end up in a serious relationship and their girlfriend or wife doesn't want them going to strip clubs all the time. They're like, what? I can't go with my boys. I can't go. If you're making that big of a deal out of it, then you may not need to be trying to settle down if that's way important to you to the point where it's a walk. You're treating it like a walk away because you can't go to strip clubs all the time as a married person.
Yeah, things change. You just got married, dude. You got to give that up sometimes.
All right, why'd y'all break up? Why'd y'all call off the wedding? Because she said I couldn't go to strip clubs no more.
Yeah, you're telling me
I can't go to strip clubs no more. I ain't getting married, man. Yeah. I ain't getting into that prison. She ain't gonna tell me here. First, it's you can't go to strip clubs. Next thing will be you can't drink coffee in the mornings because caffeine's bad for you. Just running my life. Oh man, I ain't signing up for no prison sentence like that.
You're telling me you met this person and fell in love with them to the point that you're considering marrying them, but the fact that she wants you to stop going to strip clubs is the hill on which you choose to die? Come on, man.
So
get over that.
So what did he or she have to give up before you'd get married? We've done this before, but it's never been eyes open to the way it is now, where if you chose to not be with the person or you had to make a difficult decision to walk away from your adult film consumption, adult material consumption or something like that. Maybe, you said, all right, you're going to have to give up smoking.
Yeah.
Like if a guy said, look, we can get married, but we're not going to get married. I want to marry you. But we're not going to get married until you quit smoking. I don't think it's accepted that well unless it's reversed with the woman telling the guy, here's your ultimatum. With the guy giving her an ultimatum, I don't think the ladies are going to love that too much. That's what I'm saying. It may get ugly if we get people commenting.
Yeah, I agree
on this. So send us a DM or put a comment on the front pages of our social medias. It's at the Ace TJ Show on all of them. Let's see what we get.
This is the Ace and TJ Show. More show than you can get on the radio. This is Ace TJ 5G.
If you want to know what's happening in and around the Lake Norman area, and you want to reach people in and around the Lake Norman area, there's one great way to do it. Lake Norman Currents, Lake Norman's #1 lifestyle magazine. Every month, Currents brings you the latest news on what's happening in and around the Lake Norman area, reaching over 50,000 Lake Norman residents, and that's 50,000 every single month. Currents combines print advertising with email marketing as well as online and social media marketing, so you're reaching people every way possible. Lake Norman Currents, serving the Lake Norman area for over 13 years. See the latest issue and find out more at lncurrents.com. That's lncurrents.com.
Well, I'm guessing that the people at BuzzFeed, somebody up in there is a listener to the Ace and TJ Show because they're biting. For many years, periodically, we've asked our listeners to respond to the question about how can you tell somebody's rich? What do rich people do?
Yep.
Well, BuzzFeed had something on there that was asking that non-obvious signs that someone's really rich. Number one was wearing very nice clothing without any brand identification. That's right. That's a good one. Casually having expensive hobbies like sailing, skiing, and golfing, which it should just be golf. I shouldn't say golfing as a verb because that's what Yankees do. It's playing golf. Let's see. One of them that I really think was cool is their couch doesn't touch the wall.
That's an interesting one.
Rich people don't have couches up against the wall. It's always in the middle of the floor or something. And when I read that this morning, I looked up and guess where our couch is?
Middle of the floor?
Yeah, it's not up against the wall.
Yeah, that's not true. Mine's in the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
Mine is also not against a wall. So.
Yeah, y'all know I'm not rich.
And another one was having good teeth.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
But is that a sign that somebody's rich, or is it a sign that somebody's poor if they've got really messed up teeth? Poor or European?
I think it's more the other way to me. Just because somebody has good teeth, I never think that they're rich. They could could be middle class and then they go get their teeth checked up.
If they think that people with good teeth are rich, then they would think my wife's a billionaire.
Yeah,
That's true.
Big old teeth. People are always asking her if she, how many times she's bleached them and all that. Not a single time. She's like, never. I've never done that.
Those teeth have looked the same forever.
Yeah, that's crazy with all the candy she eats. I mean,
That's how you can tell somebody's super wealthy, is if it's an adult who eats Sour Patch Kids and Blow Pops all the time, and Skittles.
ridiculous.
You know what? That's an interesting point, though, Riggins. It's like sometimes you just know people who have great metabolism. Whether they're 20 or 40, whatever, they're always thin and they don't work out. They're just like that. That's kind of the way Jody is with her teeth.
Yeah, I mean, it's like shouldn't be that way, the amount of candy she eats.
She also happens to always have been. Again, another one.
Yeah.
But yeah, poor people do put the names out on their clothing, like they want to wear labeled things. That's what poor people do, or rich people who don't have any couth.
What about people who have like Austin 316 on their shirt? Is that something?
Oh no, those are the most sophisticated among us, Rob.
Austin 316.
Anytime you've got a T-shirt that says "Can I get a hell yeah" on the back of it, you're all class, baby.
Don't trust anybody.
Ace TJ 5G.
The Ace and TJ app is made possible thanks to our friends at Papa John's Pizza. We're going into a weekend, a lot of great sports to watch. Order online, papajohns.com. Try the new Papa pairings. When you order two or more of your favorites, you can get them for just $6.99 a piece. Order online, papajohns.com, or right from within the free Ace and TJ app. Boom.
Boom. So we're talking about things that were ultimatums to get married. For example, you've got to cancel all of these OnlyFans subscriptions before we can get married. I want to marry you, but you got to do that. This lady say, my husband wanted me to have my tonsils taken out before we got married because I snored so loudly. I did. She did it. She got them out, got her tonsils out. But an adult having a tonsillectomy is a lot worse than a kid having. Your tonsils are huge by the time you're an adult. So I said, did it work? Meaning,
did it work?
Did you stop snoring?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mary. And then again, I said, did you stop snoring? And I'm awaiting the answer.
I hope so. You made her get a surgery? And she said yes.
I want to know, though, how in the world he knew that she snored before they got married. And I want to know if they have repented. No man should know whether or not his lady snores before they get married. Why is he around her while she's sleeping?
So true.
That's what I want to know. I think we all need to know that. Amy, Miss Amy.
Around here flitting around, sinning.
Over there sinning and snoring. Sinning and snoring. That's what you're doing. That's one of those better for worse things. He shouldn't know until y'all get married that you snore. And then he should just say, well, you know what? I vowed for better or for worse, and snoring is worse.
Maybe he just heard her taking a nap on his couch or something one day.
Yeah.
She said, okay, she just responded, it did stop the snoring, but it was more painful than childbirth.
Oh, my gosh.
Man.
See, I don't remember my birth at all, whether it hurt or not. That kills, and usually it's only women that can remember that. I wonder what that's about. No guy has ever remembered his birth being painful, but women always do. Crazy. But yeah, that's a big surgery for an adult.
Yeah. That's an ultimatum that I'm not willing to. I would not like that. Hey, I need you to have a surgery before we get married. No. What was that? That's nuts.
Well, I mean,
because you snore.
But the man needs to sleep, Rick. He needs to sleep.
Yeah.
This Emily said, I dated my ex for 3 years. His mom would bring him breakfast, lunch, and dinner to take to work. She would take his laundry and do it all the way to hanging it in his closet. She.
Oh, wow.
I knew I couldn't marry him when he started getting me to take on the role. It wasn't completely unreasonable until he started having me make his doctor's appointments, hair appointments, and if his puppy had an accident in the house, he would gag until I cleaned it up. I left him quickly after that. So, yeah, expecting your wife to take over all the stuff that your mama has been doing for you your whole life.
It's a little much, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, women have to think about that with their sons. Well, their daughters too, for that matter. When you get so much joy out of doing every little thing for them, then whenever they get out on their own, they're going to expect the next person that comes along to have to do that because they don't know how to do it. But like I had to make my wife stop cutting up my son's meat for him, and I had to make her stop going upstairs and carrying our daughter down, stairs while she's still sleepy when she was going to school and all of that. I was like, Jody, she is a junior.
She can walk down those stairs.
Yeah, let her walk.
Put me down.
Yeah, she can drive herself to school. Come on.
That's funny.
But Jody's thing wasn't so much of, I don't want to let go of being their mommy. It was, she's just a control freak, and she just has to be, no, let's go. Like, it would drive her nuts to sit there and watch our son try to cut meat on his plate and all when he was little.
Wow.
And it's just like, just let me do it. Because she's just, everything's got to get done. Let's move on. Let's move. Let's go. That kind of stuff. So I had to make her stop. He was probably about 16 before she stopped taking him to potty. I just do it better than he does on his own. It's like, he's got a driver's license. He could go to the bathroom alone.
There's a good one here from Twitter. She said, he had to stop chewing tobacco before we could get married. I couldn't take the thought of a cup of spit in my car. She said, it's so gross, I just couldn't do it. So he had to stop. So I guess they're married. He can't be getting in her car with a spit cup.
And he did?
No, he stopped.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So, apparently they got married.
What a wuss.
That's what happens. He does it for love. That his buddies are like, "Oh, you're a wuss.
Yeah,
oh, some backbone you've got."
I bet you that's not the only thing that she, demands that he don't do or does. Now it's probably been a whole lifetime of marriage, of her bossing him around and him having to live in her way, her telling him what to wear every day. You know how they do. Because, a woman can't just be boss. She got to be bossy.
That's TJ.
Nuts.
That is TJ.
You let that guy ask his wife for a surgery.
No, I didn't like that either.
You didn't say anything.
No, but I was focused more on the fact that they had already been sinning. They'd been he-ing and she-ing before they was married. That's what I was talking about. That shouldn't even have been an issue. They shouldn't have been he-ing and she-ing before they got married.
Shouldn't have known anything about it, huh?
Exactly.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
I'm just picking, ladies. I'm just picking. No, you don't want nasty tobacco. All right, there is an attorney who has shown up in some of our research for today. She's very pretty, and being an attorney is not her only job. I wonder what her other job is.
Here we go.
I'll tell you coming up next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
there is a big layout for in an article about this Brazilian attorney. And she is not just an attorney, because she didn't give up her other job when she got her law license and passed whatever the Brazilian equivalent of the bar exam is. And shock of all shocks, her other job is being an OnlyFans model.
Of course.
She's really pretty.
Oh yeah.
This is her
very attractive.
lawyer-in picture right here.
Very
and then
attractive.
if you want to see, you can go watch our YouTube deal later when it gets posted. But she does full on, all the way naked stuff and all on her OnlyFans. See, I'm not going to hold this one up for the camera. I mean, she's not naked in the picture, but she's in revealing lingerie. Now, would you have a lot of confidence in her as an attorney if you were in court and you needed somebody pleading your case for you? Would you? And then, second of all, let's say you've been accused of murder, right?
Yep.
Would your wife even let you hire her as an attorney? What if she's the best defense attorney in all of Brazil?
And she might, yeah.
Is she going to let you hire? I'm thinking my wife wouldn't.
No.
Because, when you're in there visiting someone in jail, that's a very sexy place. And, I see that all the time where, really good-looking attorneys get in that room when they're talking to their clients there in the orange jumpsuit.
But
everything's just, it's like a, what do you call it? A cell block heat going on.
But if she's the best and you're accused of murder, you just want to get off.
Yeah, that's what she'd be worried about, my wife.
I meant the charge.
But she specializes, though. She's not a defense attorney per se. She specializes in handling cases for men who have been caught being unfaithful, and she's their divorce attorney.
That's interesting.
Wow,
she
that's real
specializes
interesting.
in defending or representing cheating men.
Oh God, you want to see your ex-wife get heated?
And maybe that's
Have
why
this
she's
hot-
great at it. That's interesting.
Oh,
that's
the mind
really
games.
interesting.
The mind games that must be going on.
Man.
Yeah, you're sitting across the table in arbitration in a
Your Honor,
conference room.
Yeah. Can you blame him for cheating on this frumpy old woman? She's up there with her.
Yeah, that could be ugly.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
She calls herself a non-traditional legal eagle, swooping down.
That's crazy.
She said she gets at least 70 requests a day for new clients, like people wanting her to represent her.
So it's working
represent
for her.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people cheating in Brazil,
Must
obviously.
be.
Yes.
Riggins and the Week in Review coming up next.
Live from the Calitrin Studios. Find out more about Calitrin at acetj.com/weight loss. More of the Ace and TJ Show next. More show than you can get on the radio. This is Ace TJ 5G.
Hey, we really want you to support people who support us, especially our charity efforts. And the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty falls under that category. As a matter of fact, when it comes to helping us with our charitable stuff, they fall into that category almost every single time and have for years. They're great people. You need anything as far as real estate, anything that has to do with real estate, especially in the Lake Norman area of North Carolina, go to acetj.com/Temple team for the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty.
Let me ask y'all something, because y'all got kids running all over this damn country. Got kids you don't even claim, and lots of baby mamas and things like that. I don't, but Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis have revealed that they're going to donate their combined money, $275 million as a couple, which was stunning to me. They're worth $275 million. They're going to donate all that money to charity and not leave a penny for their children.
I saw that, and I think it's misleading because I'm certain that in the $275 million is what they have. They've probably already set their kids up in some way. Like they may have life insurance policies that are worth $25 million a piece. So they're going to donate their $275 million, but each of their kids might get $25 million in life insurance. You know, who knows what that number probably is.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are going to donate $275 million, but each kid might get $10 million in life insurance, whatever.
Yeah. But what if they didn't? What is that ever okay?
No,
No,
they
I'm
don't
not a
love
fan.
their kids.
They don't love their
People
kids.
who do that don't love their kids. They always say it like it's going to make the kids better and make them tough and all that. That means that you begrudge your kids having that money for some reason or another. It's not. I'm taking it too far by saying you don't love your kids, but you're begrudging them something. They've done something that you think makes them not deserve, and it could be your fault. You raised them wrong, and they're little brats. They grow up as brats. And so you say, well, they need to stand on their own and become adults and all that because they're still, they're 40, she's 40 or he's 40 and still living off of me. And so they're not getting any money. Then I just think that's not a good family situation. You're supposed to want your kids, you leave your kids better than what you had it is what you're supposed to do.
And I would hope that I've raised them well enough that maybe they don't get the whole $275 million. I donate $150 million to charity, whatever. I would hope that I've raised them well enough that they have their own desires in life, things they want to accomplish, and they want to use the money they've been left to continue to do good, which I've shown them how to do for others along the way.
Ace TJ 5G.
So there's a video I saw on TikTok the other day. By the way, we're on TikTok if you want to follow us at the Ace TJ Show.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do
We're
it.
on
Do
both.
it.
We're on Tick and Talk.
Both of them.
Nice.
So follow us on both.
Top of the world, Ma. Look at that.
I saw this video on TikTok, and I thought it was really sweet. You guys are going to think it's ridiculous. Gen Z aged young woman home from college for spring break, and she's showing her parents a video that she saw on TikTok of the Mars rover. That is a robotic vehicle that was on the surface of Mars. And every year it would sing happy birthday to itself. It would play like a little happy birthday song. And she was crying uncontrollably. She goes, I just think it's so sad. He's up there all alone. And on his birthday, he sings happy birthday to himself. And he's been up there for years. And the last line before his battery died or whatever happened, she goes, there's a storm coming. My battery is low and it's getting dark. And she's crying, telling her parents this, and her parents are going, are you seriously crying? It's a robot on Mars.
It doesn't have any feelings.
Right. It doesn't have any
It's
feelings.
been programmed
It's
to
a
do that for
robot.
the entertainment of the people that program it.
So I found that very... I found it heartwarming that she can have compassion or empathy for something that's not even human. Now, you guys, like her parents, will probably laugh at that, and I understand why you would. But I think there's something very charming about it. Disagree? Okay. Agree?
Oh, no.
It's ridiculous?
I would find it.
Grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's an adult.
Yeah, I get it.
How's she going to be productive in the world and lead the country, be one of the leaders of the country?
Not
when
everybody.
she's crying over a dune buggy on Mars.
In her defense, they made it very sad the way they framed that TikTok video. They didn't make it look sad.
Yeah, in TJ's defense, I just love the way she cried over a dune buggy.
Yeah.
On Mars.
Well, I mean, come on.
She didn't even crash it.
But this one might elicit the same feelings from young people. Tomato plants scream when their stem is cut off. They actually emit an airborne sound similar to bubble wrap being popped that is detectable from more than 3 feet away when they're thirsty. So humans can't hear it. Humans can't hear it, but animals are able to hear the sounds, and they are thinking that the other tomato plants will be able to hear the sound as well.
How they know animals can hear it? Did the animals tell them, yeah, I hear that?
I don't know.
Or did they, if you hear it on the right side, raise your right hand. If you hear it on the left side, raise your left paw.
Is this one of those things scientists don't know?
I have no clue.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'd say they just made it. Nobody can hear this, so how do they know?
Right.
And why they say scream when it sounds like bubble wrap being popped.
They put scream in the...
because they want to make it sound more dramatic. And they want a grant.
It's kind of sad that the tomato plants scream when they die.
Why don't they scream when we bite into them?
They probably
Tomato.
do. We just can't hear it.
Well, and if humans can't hear it, it ain't happening.
They said the frequency of the noise is too high for human ears to detect, but it's possible insects, other mammals, and possibly other plants hear them. So I would imagine this is in the sort of the same wheelhouse as the Mars rover being sad and singing happy birthday to itself. So here's the question. You realize it's a ridiculous reason to cry, but I'm guilty of this as well, being a millennial. I find certain things sadder than they should be. I typically don't watch any movie with animals in it, even if it's like a nice movie about animals. I'm just not looking for that kind of emotional engagement from a movie. I'm not. So I shouldn't be crying. You realize it's a ridiculous reason to cry, but it makes you cry. What is it? Maybe it's when you see an old guy eating alone in a cardigan. There's something about that.
That's why I don't ever wear a cardigan.
I'm crying thinking about it.
I'm an old guy eating alone all the time.
Old guy eating alone in a T-shirt, fine. Old guy eating alone in a cardigan, bawling.
Be as specific as you can. What is it? At the Ace TJ Show. We'll get your answers coming up next.
The Ace and TJ Show. More show than you can get on the radio. This is Ace TJ 5G.
Ooh. You looking for something to do? You have got so many different options when it comes to Gaston County. No matter what you're into, no matter what you want to do, no matter what type of memory you want to make, Gaston County has the opportunity to do it for you. Something with your family, something exciting, something adventurous, maybe something educational. It's all there. Plus, great things like the Ridgeline Craft Beverage Trail, which is featured in the latest edition of the Ace at Large video series. You can find that on our YouTube channel. Just search for Ace TJ TV, and then you'll find Ace at Large. And it's great. 7 different stops that I was forced to make along the Ridgeline Craft Beverage Trail. Distilleries, wineries, breweries. The best part about it is you will find something there that you go, oh, that would be cool. Whether you want a romantic night, place to hang with friends, a place to have a good time, to discover something new. It's all there on the Ridgeline Craft Beverage Trails. You can see it all on the new Ace at Large video series that's on our YouTube channel right now. And go to acetj.com/Gaston. That's acetj.com/Gaston. Find out more about the Ridgeline Craft Beverage Trail and see all of the other incredible stuff, whether it's zip lining, hiking, the Shield Museum, casinos. There's so many different things to do right now in Gaston County. acetj.com/Gaston.
People love Southwest Airlines for the most part. People love flying Southwest. And some of that has to do with the way they operate their business with things like this. There was a couple on a Southwest flight the other day, and the flight attendants found out that they were on their way to get married. They're getting married. So they had them do a practice ceremony during the flight, and they made a wedding dress out of toilet paper, wrapped the bride in it, and she marched down the aisle of the plane, and they did all of that kind of stuff. A lot of people say that was so cute and fun and all of that, and I can see where people would love that kind of thing. It's wholesome fun.
It's wholesome.
But if I'm trying to take a nap on that flight, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, come on now."
Not a fan.
Sit down, stop bothering people.
I'm trying to watch a movie. I don't need all that action up and down the aisles while I'm just trying to. I mean, if it's brief, that's fun for them. Let's go back to my movie.
Yeah, or if I'm not, because I don't take naps on planes anymore because I don't want to be snoring in front of everybody and passing gas and scratching myself in my sleep and writhing and the things that I do. I don't want to do that on a plane.
Writhing. Wow. You really painted a picture there.
Scratching and writhing.
All of my crazy sleep habits.
A little grunting involved.
So if I'm watching a movie, though, which I'm normally doing, I'm looking at a movie or something, I could not even pay attention to it. It wouldn't bother me one way or the other because I could just continue watching what I watch. That's why if you're really into liking a movie or something, I don't think somebody. This goes back to somebody looking at their cell phone for a second in the movie theater and people freaking out. Oh no! God, turn that off! So distracting. Just for me, I could pay attention to what's going on in front of me and kind of zone out what else is happening. Especially if the bride's not particularly pretty or anything. I wouldn't want to watch it.
There you go.
I wouldn't want to watch that.
Ace TJ 5G.
All right. I'm all Twitter. So, what's a ridiculous reason you've cried? Or a ridiculous thing that always brings you to tears? Like there was that young woman that was crying over the Mars rover singing happy birthday to itself on its birthday every year. And I shouldn't even say its birthday because robots don't have birthdays.
That's right.
But it's saying happy birthday to itself. But some of these are so hysterical. Like Holland said, when I was pregnant with my second daughter, I watched the documentary Food Inc. And this guy kicked a chicken, and I just started bawling. I said, "Oh my God, what is this documentary? He kicked a chicken. He kicked a damn chicken." Sarah said, "When Iron Man dies, like a baby." Now, see, I don't think that really qualifies because if a main character in a movie dies, that's not a ridiculous reason to cry. To me, it's stupid because it's Iron Man.
Comic book.
Yeah,
But yeah. I mean, it touches people.
It touches people.
Sierra has a great one. When I was pregnant, someone found my hidden ice cream sandwich in the freezer and was eating it, and I sat on the floor crying uncontrollably until he stopped eating it.
See, I would even be able to justify that one because she said she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in trouble.
And
She went out and got herself in trouble.
she got pregnant. But Bethany said in that movie, No Time for Sergeants.
Oh, yeah.
With the old Andy Griffith
That's
movie.
one of my very favorite movies of all time.
I had to look it up.
Yeah.
He just wanted to help, and everyone was so mean to him.
They were.
That's why I looked it up, and it was a comedy slapstick movie. So clearly, it was a ridiculous reason to cry.
No.
Oh, no?
It was a legitimate movie, and it was funny, especially for the day. And that was what was Andy Griffith's big breakthrough, and that's where the Andy Griffith Show was kind of taken from that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of him being just he was a mountain boy, and he missed the letters to show up for the draft, saying that he had been drafted because his dad kept hiding the letters from him because he didn't want him to leave. And so they treated him like a draft dodger the whole time. They called him Draft Dodger. And he was just this sweet old dumb mountain boy.
They were mean to old Andy Griffith.
They were. I mean, they were real mean to him.
Because she cries every time she watches it. I love that. I thought that was a great example. My favorite, though, Allison said, I'm embarrassed to say this, but Saved by the Bell reruns, especially where the one where Jesse takes too many of those caffeine pills. I've seen it. I remember that one exactly. She was trying to study for an exam.
Yeah.
And she was taking caffeine pills, and they treated it like the drug episode on Saved by the Bell. Like, gather your family members around. This is an important episode. But she wasn't doing any hard drugs. It was like caffeine tablets.
Yeah.
And she was going, I'm so excited.
I love
it.
this,
Great
though.
one.
She said, I haven't seen it in years. It was scrolling the other day, and when it was on, couldn't stop it. There were tears everywhere. Ridiculous.
Oh, my God. Well, Ace has a million of those. I mean, he'll cry over the return of, you name it, Rey
The fight
Mysterio.
song from LSU.
The fight, the fight song from
But
LSU.
that's legitimate.
Oh,
I mean, that's
come on.
It is. It is
Thank
legitimate.
you, TJ.
Now there are some of them that
A fight song?
yes, the LSU fight song. If that you grew up and that was your favorite college, sports teams and everything, and then you end up going there yourself and you got school pride and you love that about yourself to this day that you went to LSU.
That is my favorite place in the whole world.
The first time I went to the Panther Stadium and they did that, I cried.
Is that
Rob?
Yeah, you don't want to get in this one, Rob.
Come on, Rob. You gonna get in this? You cried 4 times at
Hey,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man really touched my
You
heart.
cried because all 3 Spider-Men were on the screen together at one time.
It was my Spider-Man.
thing.
How
Yeah,
I
you
can
gonna
laugh
make
at
fun of
you.
me?
That's why I can laugh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, to me, that's the same thing.
Okay.
And it's not a bad thing. It's not like it's a judgment.
It is a judgment
No,
because you
it's
said we're
not.
crying for a stupid reason.
Well, I mean, it's funny. Can it not be funny too? Listen,
It could be.
It's the season of dating, and unfortunately, it's about to get a lot more difficult for single people. I'll tell you why coming up next.
The Ace and TJ Show. More show than you can get on the radio. This is Ace TJ 5G.
You're thinking about buying a home? Maybe you're ready to list your home. Got some extra cash? You want to purchase a second home or invest? That's why you need Melissa Chambers of Chambers and Associates Realty and her team. They are experienced, they are knowledgeable, and they can be your guide through whatever your situation is, buying, selling, or investing. They're here to help you with all of your real estate needs. Call Melissa Chambers, 704-439-6232, 704-439-6232, or online at lkncharlottehomes.com/AceTJ. Chambers and Associates, and we thank them for being a proud sponsor of our charity Peyton's Promise.
They're awesome. I was about to tell y'all it's a National Oysters on the Half Shell Day, but it's not.
Oh.
It's National Clams on the Half Shell.
Oh,
Like raw clams? I think that's what it's talking about.
I've never had raw
you
clam.
people eat
I-
raw clam.
I don't know. Isn't that what on the half
Maybe it's
shell
a
means?
bake, or they could do baked clams on a half shell.
maybe.
I don't know. I don't eat clams unless they're cooked into something usually.
Yeah, and even then, I'm not
Yeah.
great. Alexis is a big, she's from Boston. Alexis from Boston. She likes the clam chowder. So she eats clams. I don't think I've ever had, outside of like a Campbell soup clam chowder, I don't think I've ever had clams.
I've had it in, I want to say Italian dishes. I've had clams.
Yeah,
in it.
linguine and clams,
Yeah.
something like that. But I don't eat anything. There's something, doesn't it seem a little barbaric to just pry open this living thing and eat it out of its own body?
You mean like an oyster?
No.
It doesn't seem barbaric. I don't like raw oysters though. I don't like them cooked either. I'm only Louisiana person that doesn't like oysters.
Yeah, Jody's
Love
crazy
raw
about
oysters.
Yeah,
Love them.
Yeah, Jody can eat a ton of them.
It's an aphrodisiac.
Shells and all.
With big teeth.
Yeah.
Just crack through the
Take it
shells.
all.
Yeah,
She's like, I don't even open them.
Like it ain't nothing.
Yeah. Some people in Louisiana line their driveway with oyster shells, crushed up oyster shells. Instead of using white rocks and stuff, they'll crush up oyster shells and sprinkle them all in the driveway.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if that attracts birds or anything. Do they clean them?
Yeah, they're clean. They look like they're bleached and stuff.
Like
too.
we didn't clean them, and you got seagulls like on your driveway all the time now.
Just little giblets of oysters still hanging in them.
I know that's tough work harvesting oysters. You see those guys on like the waders. That's a year-round job because then you gotta create the reef that they grow on, and I mean it's like in the water. You're waist deep and cold water sometimes, and it takes a lot. It takes years for the clam or for the oyster to get to size where you can eat it. That's tough labor, I think. Much like a lobsterman.
Much like this job here.
This is a little bit easier, but not much. Really.
Yeah.
It's cold a lot.
And it's cold.
Just you and us. This is Ace TJ 5G.
All right, so thankfully, cuffing season is over. The pressure is off about finding a date for the company Christmas parties, things like that. Now, we're now moving into spring, and dating experts have said that spring is a great time. It's the best time of the year to be dating because with light, more light brings more light into your life. Gives you more options to go out on fun dates and things like
Yeah.
that. But
So true.
just when things were looking up, the dating experts have come in and said there's a new problem people are dealing with, new single people are dating with. It's not ghosting. It's something even worse. It's called fizzling.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Fizzling. Fizzling is basically the term given when your potential date begins to fizzle out. They're putting in less and less effort into the conversation, and rather than ending the relationship, they just kind of let things drag on and on and on. You send him a text message, and then one day he takes 20 minutes to respond, and then the next day he takes an hour to respond, and then A week later, he's not responding for 3 hours. So it's stretching out the inevitable,
Yeah.
which can't be a lot of fun.
But I don't see how that's worse than ghosting.
Because ghosting, you can kind of recognize it's happened. They have cut all communications. At least there's some type of closure.
Okay, and this is
even if it's not.
We're not talking about people who have been together for a while. These are people in new kind of dating relationships, seeing if they're going to go to the next level and all that.
Exactly.
Ghosting, you realize, okay, this is over.
Yeah, there might be a couple of days where you're like, oh wow, he's not or she's not responding anymore. But then you kind of go, oh yeah, they blocked me on Instagram too. Yeah. So it's not a great way to end any kind of relationship, but at least there's some sense of, okay, that's over. I need to move on.
It's not slowly over the course of where 2 weeks later you realize, oh wait a minute, this hasn't been working for weeks.
Yeah.
I've wasted several weeks of time.
Exactly. And this actually is my preferred method of ending a relationship. That's the problem.
The ghosting?
No,
Yeah,
fizzling.
Yeah, you've been ahead of this curve for a long time, Riggins.
I think I have.
You've always said that you just kind of slowly back out.
Yeah, and what I don't intend, which is the actual result, is that it's cruel. It's cruel because it stretches out the heartbreak over a course of weeks, and there's a lot of uncertainty and things like that, where I feel like ghosting would be a preferable option.
And I would think that it's nearly impossible to ghost somebody, to truly ghost somebody, when you both live in the same small town.
Maybe.
Yeah, because you're going to run into that person.
You'll be at the Dairy Queen or somewhere. You're going to see them, or you're going to run into their mama at Walmart, things like
I
that.
always think the mom see each other.
You
I
ghost
always worry
somebody in
about
a
that.
town the size of, I think even my hometown of 14,000 people, you ghost someone, there's pretty good chance you're going to bump into them somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's also, if you're trying to ghost them, they just ride over to your house.
True.
Just knock on the door.
Yeah.
Go, hey, why didn't you answer my text?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to face it, either on the front porch or invite them in.
That's true.
Like, oh, hey.
And since y'all got Wi-Fi down there, it's even more difficult.
We just got us a bunch of Wi-Fi in Winfield.
They just dropped it off.
Yeah, we got a bunch of Wi-Fi now.
Boatload of Wi-Fi now, man.
From the Calitrin Studios, this is the Ace and TJ Show. Find out more about Calitrin at acetj.com/weight loss.